Hello and welcome. You're watching Commodity Champions and I'm Manisha Gupta. As we approach a global population of an estimated 9.8 billion by 2050, the demand for food is intensifying along with a substantial rise in food waste. In order to meet the rising demand, it has become crucial to combat soil erosion and land degradation, especially because just 3% of the Earth's surface is viable for arable land. At a time when unpredictable weather patterns are impacting the agricultural output, experts believe that sustainable innovations may offer a buffer to farmers. These include rotation of crops, minimization of use of chemical pesticides. To discuss this further, we are now joined by Siraj Hussain. He is former Agri-Secretary. Thank you so much, Mr. Hussain, for joining us. And while sustainability as a theme is being discussed globally, how do you see India reacting to this, especially with the sense that we have seen increasing population, food security concerns are still on, and the changing climate is yet another uncertainty that we see increasing into?
Actually, there has been a realization in the government and among the policymakers, including Planning Commission and NITI Aayog, that sustainability for the agriculture sector is extremely important. And therefore, around 2013-14, I was still in the Ministry of Agriculture. The National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture was launched. However, the intention has not been matched with the allocations. And the financial allocations for National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture have remained very low. And one reason is that a lot of money out of the budget of the Ministry of Agriculture now goes towards direct benefit transfer in the form of PMKISAN and fertiliser subsidy, and the state governments are providing electricity subsidy. So in effect, we can say that there is very little financial allocation for promoting sustainable agriculture.
What would you say, Mr. Hussain, is a bigger concern right now? Because various things that come under sustainability, how many of them do you see being met, whether it is about precision farming, crop rotation, ensuring that the soil health is good, and, fertilization for that matter. And there's just a long list of that. What do you think India is doing right now and what it needs to do going forward?
If we want to see the experiments at a large scale, then two states come to mind. One is Sikkim, which was declared by the Prime Minister in 2016 as an organic state. So Sikkim is a good example. And another state where natural farming is being promoted at a reasonably large scale is Andhra Pradesh, coastal Andhra Pradesh. So in these two large areas, the natural farming or organic farming, different modalities of sustainable agriculture are being tried. And certain studies have shown that there is no significant loss of productivity in Andhra Pradesh, for example, in the natural farming experiment. But, we need a longer term study, more studies to establish whether this will actually work. And another thing which I would like to point out is that a number of NGOs have been working in Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat, etc., to promote natural farming methods. But there is hardly any significant presence of such NGOs in Punjab and Haryana, which are our primary green revolution states and which have been adversely affected by deterioration in soil quality and groundwater.
So also when you look at regenerative agriculture, that's yet another buzzword that we hear now, and there are some MNCs getting into allocating money in sense of research and piloting some projects here. Do you see more headways onto that?
Actually, a number of studies have been done. CEEW has published a very good report last year on sustainability for the agriculture sector. You see, what it means is a lot of support from the government. So if we take the original green revolution states of Punjab and Haryana, we have been talking for decades about diversification from paddy to less water consuming crops. But the needed financial package between the center and the states has not been announced. And one reason is, if I may say so, the almost complete breakdown of communication and consensus building between center and the states. As a result of that, it has been left entirely to the state to fund the diversification plan almost entirely. So that is one reason why in Punjab it has not taken off. And in rain-fed areas, of course, a lot of effort are being made. As I said, in Maharashtra, a number of NGOs are working in this area. But unless we tackle the problem head-on in major green revolution states, I think significant success will not be achieved.
That being said, I mean, as you also mentioned that it is all going to be about minimizing environment impact, maximizing the yield, and of course, water efficient irrigation is another part of it. But as we go ahead from here, and it's going to be all conversations will be around budget soon. We have elections coming up as well. Do you see any thrust being put into this then?
Manisha, this year's budget will be an interim budget. So we should not expect any significant and not, a significant allocation for a scheme which is not easily understood by people. So last time when we were going for parliament elections on 1st of February, the finance minister announced PMKISAN from back date of December 2018. So in this budget, we should not expect any significant allocation for this. But going forward, the next government hopefully will realize its importance and take it up at a significantly higher scale. Because now the need is much higher due to adverse climatic conditions since February of 2022. We have seen that the government has had to ban the export of wheat, then put enormous restrictions on export of rice, sugar export is banned, and so on. And therefore, we need to do something urgently and something much more significant.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you touched on the nail there. There are various protectionist measures that we saw coming from the government, which are still in place right now, ensuring that there's enough availability, affordability as well. So going forward, what would you want to watch out for? I mean, I've been reading various pieces, yours included, on sustainable agriculture going forward. Even if we leave aside budget and elections for a moment there, I mean, as you said, more needs to be done. The next government perhaps will need to do more about that. If you had to mark it on in a 1, 2, 3, what would you say needs to be done?
I think the first thing is identification of agroecological zones where significant efforts are needed in a short term, in a short period of time. So Punjab and Haryana come to mind, and parts of Maharashtra, sugarcane growing region. So Maharashtra has achieved some significant success in promoting minor irrigation. Okay. It seems that some 35% area under sugarcane is now under micro irrigation. At least that is what the studies show. I do not know what is the situation on the ground. So it will mean higher allocation. You see, some experts have been advocating that the government is giving such a high subsidy on fertilizer. But farmers who are not using fertilizer, or areas which are not using this urea subsidy to any significant extent, are not getting any support. Now, we know it very well that even under DBT for PM Kisan, there is no preferential treatment given to rain-fed areas or farmers who are doing natural farming. Same amount is going to everyone. Okay. Now, of course, this is a success of DBT, but it is also a failure of DBT because we have not been able to reach this money to the people who are doing something for ecological sustainability.
Well, yes, a lot needs to be done. And while there are some small studies being done in various areas, but there's not one collective thing that is being done. And the time is running out, and there are a lot of discussions, debates right now on sustainability global round. Mr. Hussain, thank you so much for joining us with your sense on that topic. But we are heading into a short break. Coming up, CNBC TV 18 brings you conversations with industry experts on palm oil sustainability from the round table on sustainable palm oil in Jakarta, Indonesia.